Oh, they're background checking me. Ah, true. And here we go, sporting in the top left-hand corner of site Delta, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. He just took down Showtime 2-0. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Team Onside. It is Solar. ByuN. Oh, it's ByuN again. One after the other, and here we go. A very different kind of Terran player here. So to wind it back, Bunny went for two different builds in his series against Solar. In game 1, he went for an all-in. He went for an 8-racks. In game 2, he went 2-port BC into ByuN, which was, again, a very interesting combination. But why I bring that up is because we're going to be seeing a very different series out of ByuN. He can 8-racks, don't get me wrong, but even if ByuN does 8-racks, he's going to get there in a very different way. And I don't think that Site Delta is the best map for 8-racksing, just because of how long this map is, how many bases there are as well. I expect us to get into a bit of a longer game, as for now, the opener is a 2-racks on the low ground. ByuN has been very fond of this for almost a year. We're nearing up to a year, actually, of ByuN whipping this out. Initially back last year in November, and we're almost in November here this year in 2023, which is crazy to think about. A year of 2-raxes. As, yeah, ByuN, he's just going to be getting into this. Meanwhile, across the map, Solo going for a hatch gas pool. Standard opener out of Solar, and he will soon come across the Reapers of ByuN. First Reapers on the way. Again, ByuN, he's known for opening up 2-racks, and he's already transitioning. Okay. Interesting. So a very greedy move here out of ByuN. What I mean by that is that he is going to be opening up double Reaper. Only 2 Reapers. Typically, you go up to 3 Reapers, but ByuN is cutting a lot of corners. That means that if Solar does go for a 3rd base, he will not be punished. A bit of a mind game out of ByuN. Playing with his reputation here, playing with his opener. And this is not the first time we've seen this out of ByuN, so I do appreciate it. Again, only 2 Reapers have arrived. He's going to try and get a drone, doesn't quite get one, and Solar should be going for his 3rd base. The longer Solar stays on 2 base, the further behind he falls. Because ByuN, he's already working on his add-ons, already working on Stim, and a 3rd racks as well. So very light commitment here to the Reapers from ByuN, and a very big delay of the 3rd base for Solar. Again, he could have taken this sooner. Could have taken this a lot sooner if he had realized how few Reapers are made. Up! We get the Tumor! Oh, we traded Tumor for a Reaper. Not the best trade here from ByuN. As he will fall back. So not the best trade with the Reaper, but again, did delay the space for so long. He was just puffing up his chest. He was kind of faking out Solar a little bit. The mind games are real. And back at home, a very fast transition into 3-racks. This is going to be a very strong timing with Stim and combat shields, and this will hit sooner than normal because we made these add-ons so much faster. It means a faster Stim. It also means more Marines, or more Marines faster, because we've been pumping them out 2 at a time a lot quicker than normal. So a very nice variation here of 2-racks from ByuN, and hopefully Solar's able to keep up. Hopefully. I mean, delaying this 3rd base for so long is a pretty big deal. It does impact the economy and the production and the queen count of Solar. And Solar, he's still making 2 queens at a time. We're on 4, we're going to be up to 6. Gases are being taken. Now Solar, he does have a link here to scout the move out. So it hasn't spotted. He has an Overlord here in the center of the map as well. Here we go. ByuN is pushing. Now the way that this works is that ByuN will have 1, maybe 2 stims available with this army. Obviously there's no medevac, so there's no sustain. But there's a lot of DPS available. The goal here for ByuN is to kill the queens. This isn't designed to kill the 3rd. Again, he's transitioning behind this. He's working on +1, factory, soon a starport as well. His goal just to trade well with Solar. Gets an Overlord. He is diving very deep onto creep. Oh my god. does wedge himself in between the queens. The Lings are going to have a hard time trading, and the Lings are going to go down. One queen falls, and it looks like Solar will clean this up. Whew. Only losing, was it 2 queens? 1 queen. Only losing 1 queen in the end, and 43 Lings. And again, behind this, ByuN, he's chilling. He should be fine against a counterattack. Plenty of Marines here in position. Stim is available as well. And you may think, well, was that a good trade for ByuN? I would say yes. He traded very efficiently against the Ling army. He killed the queen. And ByuN is ahead economically. He's even on workers, which means he's ahead because of mules. And he has a 3rd TC on the way. The rest of his racks, the rest of his production. Add-on swap is upon us. ByuN about to get into medevacs, about to get into drop play. Again, that push wasn't designed to cripple the economy. It was designed to trade. I do think he would have liked more queens. I do think he wanted a 2nd queen at least. So one thing I will say. As Solar, he's just trying to recover, working on another base. He's got 1-1 on the way. Bailey Nest as well. Lair is still about to finish up, which means Bailey's speed will not be done in time for the 2nd wave. And again, this 2nd wave is more deadly because it does have medevacs alongside it, which means ByuN can stim more freely. He can stim more freely. He has more maneuverability as well. Let's take down a couple of tumors. There's that first stim. That's 1 queen going down. We missed the transfuse. Transfuse is going to be missed. We have Lingbane coming in from the left-hand side. Looks like Solo wants to try to bait the army in and come in from behind. Oh. It's a decent surround, but we'll get 3 Marines. Not bad. 3 Marines is pretty good damage. Bit of miscontrol there from ByuN. Oh, he actually didn't have enough room. There wasn't enough room in the medevacs. Feels bad, man. The tank is going to go down. Big pick up here from Solar. Yeah, ByuN, he wasn't ready for the counterattack. He gets across the map instead. The Lingbane is going to be rolling on in. Good connections here from Solar. He takes control of the 3rd base. ByuN in a lot of trouble. The double jump across the map doesn't get any damage done. This was not worth it for ByuN. Does get a couple of Marines. Sorry, does get a couple of Lings. But he is forced back. And now Solar, he's getting up to a decent economy. 69, 70 plus workers. 2 2s on the way. And Solar, he's here once again looking for that tank. He wants it! Good target firing on the Bailings, but we do manage to barely get on top of the tank. Oh, a brutal loss there from ByuN. Again, Solar, these are kind of rough trades for Solar because he's bleeding out a lot of Lingbane, but every time he's killing a tank, and that is worth it. Trading mainly minerals for gas. That does weaken any kind of follow-up push here from ByuN. And as Solar is on a 4-base economy, he's working on a 5th. We can see ByuN isn't going for an all-in. He throws down a 2nd factory and a 4cc. So ByuN is looking to macro out of this. Whether he can, yet to be seen. As Solar's getting comfortable, we have 2-2. Hive is on the way. 5th base, additional gases on the horizon. And yeah, Solar, he's getting comfortable. The aggression for the most part is subsiding from ByuN. Solar is looking good. When it comes to ByuN's army composition, it isn't too bad. It's going to be ByuN. He's still squeezing out a couple of tanks wherever he can, but the goal here for ByuN, now that he's taking a 4th, is that the drop play is slowing down. I mean, we barely had any to begin with, but ByuN, he's going to be fortifying himself and slowly taking a 4th, throwing down some sensor towers, getting into more tank production, and then working on a 5th base. There we go. We do have the 4th now being floated over, but ByuN, after losing a little momentum, his goal is to turn one. There it is. We have 2 more CCs on the way. Sensor tower on the way as well. Mines. We should be getting some depot walls as well. Some bunkers. Kind of the momentum has swung in favor of Solar, and ByuN knows that. So if he wants to recover, it's all about taking a stronger defensive stance. Now the problem with this is that Solar's already maxed out. Because Solar defended so well earlier, and because he had traded so well, he's been able to be greedy, and he's drawn up to 80. Like Solar, he's already at 80 workers, which means he's maxed out. And this 4th base, is vulnerable. The tanks are gonna get surrounded. Tanks are gonna go down once again. The Ling Bane gets on top of the army. ByuN is forced back. Decent enough baneling connections, and we're pushing into the natural. GG gets called, and ByuN will tap out. Solar takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. ByuN doing everything he could there to just be aggressive to pull apart his opponents, but in the end, he himself was pulled apart. Solar able to defend, able to counterattack. That's the most important thing. Not just Solar's defense, but his ability to counterattack and to catch ByuN maybe being a little bit too greedy, caught off guard, caught exposed, caught with his pants down on more than one occasion. And in the end, it just became too much to handle. As a reminder, the first counterattack from Solar killed a tank. The second one killed another tank as well. Like, all of this meant that ByuN couldn't build up to a push. He just didn't have the momentum that he really wanted, and just like that, game 1 is in the books. We're getting into game number 2. Hello, Smoky Boy. I love KFC. Now, which kind of KFC? That's the real question. We talking Kentucky or we talking Korean? I was supposed to get Korean fried chicken tonight, but and I always try to like line it up where I get Korean fried chicken just in time for KungFu Cup for KFC. Oh. Here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Solaris, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the player currently leading the series 1-0, representing Team Onside. It is Solar. But I try to line up ordering some kind of KFC for KungFu Cup, but not today. Not today. Today was Smurge, Bobby Smurge. I mentioned before in the chat, but Australia as a country had a devastating day today. For those who maybe didn't hear or aren't native to Australia, our internet was down. One of our biggest internet service providers, and not just internet, but also like data and phone reception or cellular reception, they did go down today for the majority of the day, and yeah, as a result, couldn't do much of anything. Was just stuck at home, smurging, Bobby, smurging. I was really concerned that I wouldn't be able to cast today, but we were able to. Oh my god! And as we lament about the tragedy that was today, we do have a 3x build here by ByuN, which means we are amassing Reapers. I like the contrast. So winding it back, game 1, ByuN, he only made 2 Reapers, he cut corners, he transitioned into bioproduction a lot faster. Here, the polar opposite, where we're doubling down on mass Reaper. Here we go. Now, this isn't all in. Don't let this fool you. We may be going up to 3 Raxes, we may be making mass Reaper, but you expand behind this and you transition into a bio composition from here. We are still making a lot of Reapers. The goal is to contain and delay the 3rd base for as long as we can. Not just that, but even trade with the Lings, get some worker kills, even get some queen kills, and just maintain map control. Here we go, the first wave of Reapers have arrived. Reapers, they dive into the natural base. Oh, so far not able to get too much done here. They get a Ling. to get one link for their troubles. Again, additional Reapers are on the way. This is designed to slowly snowball out of control. And we'll see if we can. National crisis. Unironically, I mean, it was affecting hospitals and stuff. Like, it was a lot of hospital services went down. A lot of like just general businesses went down. It was actually like a pretty big deal. As the Reapers have arrived, and oh, so far they get one queen. Can we get a second? Barely don't get a second queen. Reaper, 2 Reapers go down. Link speed kicks in, and ByuN gets caught out of position here. He gets completely surrounded. Ay. ByuN overextending here and is going to be punished as a result. And now Link's going for a big counterattack. Now, thankfully, the add-ons are on the other side of the wall, but ByuN has lost map control. Solar takes a third base. Solar is droning. He's pulling into gas. Well, he already has Link speed. Doesn't need additional gas. And ByuN is in some trouble. ByuN is in trouble. The reason why I say this is because ideally you want map control and you want to be able to get into your buy behind this. You want to delay the third base for even longer, and it's just something that he wasn't able to pull off. And now this Deeper is going to go down. It's burning. As the Marine is stuck between the Tech Lab and the Depot, but you know what? We're able to hold on. We keep the Depot alive. Behind this, Solar has been droning quite heavily. Solar is just able to recover from here. The game will settle down, and I want to give the edge to Solar. Again, ByuN did not do enough. He did not do enough with his Mass Reaper, with his 3-racks opener. I would say that at the moment he was set behind. He is now working towards Stim and eventually Combat Shields. He's getting into his 3-1-1 setup. But Solar has so much time to just drone up very freely. Double Evo Chamber as well. Solar, he feels so confident that he is delaying his lair as well. A lot of Zerg players, when they're up against 3-racks Reaper, they go for a faster lair for bathing speed because they're so delayed, because they're taking so much damage. But Solar, he is just free to focus on his upgrades and yeah, get into his game. Getting into his mid game. And essentially I bring this up because the pressure is now on ByuN. The pressure is on our Terran player to get damage done, and he has a window. Once Stim kicks in, ByuN, he has potential. He has a lot of Marines available. We're up to how many? 19 Marines. 2 Medivacs, but still making plenty of Marines at a time. And we gotta go. We need to get damage done. Now the Lings, they do spot the move out. Solar's aware. The Queens are brought forward. Lings are on the way. 20 more Lings in production. 1-1 still a ways off. Bathing Nest still a ways off as well. Solar has to defend with purely Ling Queen. More Lings are in production. 4th base is on the way. ByuN is looking for an Overlord. He will not get one. Throwing up a lot of creep. Pushing on in. He's going to get some Queens. 1 Queen does go down. So far, not a bad trade here from ByuN. Solar, he was thinking about a surround. But Solar, he's bought enough time. Bathing Nest is now done. Bathing Speed should be on the way soon as well. That is delayed. There we go. Bathing Speed now starts up. And with the arrival of these Banelings, with the completion of 1-1, Solar, he is fine. He is free to drone. He can drone from here. And he's squeezing out a couple of workers. Here comes the second wave. Now ByuN, his first push, his vanguard, if you will, was clearing up all this creep. Was creating an opening, creating a pathway here for his reinforcements. At the same time, Solar are going to try to catch them. But there are too many Marines in position. Yeah, Solar, he forces a Stim. That's a pretty big moment there. Forcing a Stim out of his opponent. Solar, he does see the reinforcements. He's aware. He's getting ready. We need more Banelings. Queens are trying to spread creep. Solar going for a backstab, but he's going to have to turn back around. So here we go. ByuN is committing. Solar setting up a surround as well. There is going to be bailing speed just in time for the second. Just now finishes. And now Solar, he pulls the trigger. Lingbane rolling on forward. He completely just engulfs this army. There's no way out. The full surround is real. And the tanks get cleaned up. Now, ByuN did escape with 4 full medevacs of Marines, so he did at least, have some units survive. Here comes the second wave. But what's important is the tank count. The tank count was reset. We have 1 tank with this army. Liberators are going for a counterattack. They're going for some harassment. No spores in position. The Libs, they can get damage done. Meanwhile, Solar is taking up, working towards Infestation Pit. Solar, he's squeezing out a couple of drones. This entire time, ByuN has been 2-base all lit. Oh my, I didn't even realize. I just assumed that he had a 3rd CC building. This entire time, it's been a 2-base all in out of ByuN, and Solar's getting up to 4 bases. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. Liberators are going to be denying a lot of mining time. Here comes the second wave. Solar once again coming in for a surround. Is it going to be lined up nicely? It is. Yeah, we clean up the tanks. We clean up the Marines. Liberators are getting a lot done, though. 11 drones go down. The economy of Solar is hurting. The Queens are busy. Libs getting out of hand, getting out of control. 14, oh my, the target firing. 14 workers go down. 19. Ay, 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 and just like that, ByuN, he's evening up the economy, but he's still behind. ByuN, he needs more done. Oh my, the target firing. Oh my god. He gets every single bailing. Very nice control there out of ByuN. Again, the pressure is on him to get damage done, and he can still pull this off. He gets 20 drones, and here comes another army. If Solar drones up too much, he is going to be caught with his pants down. We have a double jump getting ready to go in. We have Lingbane getting set up here for the push. Not the largest army from ByuN. Here we go. He's getting in position. Bailings are being targeted down. Solar. Oh god, he can't go in. Not yet. He needs a little bit more time. Hive is on the way. Behind this, ByuN still not landing his 3rd base. He's still 2-base all in. It's not even an orbital at this stage. Just hyper aggression out of ByuN. Reinforcements are on the way. This hatchery is taking a lot of damage. Liberators are repositioning. But Solar, yeah, he can collapse in this position once again. Only 2 tanks. Just never allowing the tank count to get too out of hand and too out of control. Here we go. Doom drop into the main base. Reinforcements coming out once again. ByuN, he is doing so much off of a 2-base economy, but the reality is that he is running out of steam. He's running out of money. He can only keep this up for so long. Meanwhile, Solar, he's getting up to Hive Tech. Vipers are now on the way. This counterattack is going to get eyes on the 3rd base. There are tanks in position. The Lings, they're not going to get much done. And ByuN, he's still in this. He's getting his 3rd up and running. And now the onus is on Solar to take another base. There we go. 5th on the way. Upon seeing this 3rd base, that kind of cues Solar to get a Hydrogen. Hydrogen is now on the way. We can work towards Hydrolurker Viper. Or just Lingbane Viper even. Lingbane Hydro Viper. ByuN is setting up for a split push. Can he deny some of these fringe bases? Solar not quite in position. He's hyper-fixated on the potential drop into the main. Lings are in position. And Solar, he is here for it. I'm loving the movement of the queens. They're going to be respreading all this creep. Powerbomb takes down a full medevac. One medevac does make it out. But the Lings are getting in position. And now we have some anti-air. Now we can deal with these drops. Now ByuN, he may be on 3 bases. Taking a 4th is going to be a difficult thing to do. It's going to be a tough ask here for ByuN. The powerbomb. And with that, medevac goes down. Solar, he can now focus on his main push. +3 melee has been delayed. ByuN pushing through the center even. A bold move. There's always potential with Widow Mines. Always potential for ByuN. As Solar has maxed out. ByuN not too far behind. Here we go, the surrounders with the mines! Decent connections with the Widow Mines. And with that, ByuN, he can push on forward. Yeah, Solar, he has to give up this base. There's no way for him to hold on to it. Too many Marines, too many Marauders. At the same time, Solar just trying to catch some reinforcements. He does get on top of a tank. Will bring it down. 5th base did fall. ByuN is taking a 4th. This is scary now for Solar. ByuN is now taking an economic... Well, he's soon to take an economic lead. The Queens! No! 2, 3, 4 Queens go down. And Solar, he's falling apart a little bit. That's a dead hatchery. Dead Queens. Delayed economy. ByuN has momentum. Like, if this 4th base gets up and running, that's going to be a huge moment here for ByuN. This is also going to be a launch pad to push onto these fringe bases as well. Solar is going to have to expand here towards the south instead. At the same time, Solar just trying to go in for a run by. Finally takes down that depot from the start of the game. Getting damage done. He's hoping to try to pull apart the attention of ByuN. Oof. Solar has to back off. He cannot engage. Not off of creep. Not like this. But there it is. Hydra, Lurker, Viper. Lurkers are on the way. With Lunker upgrades, of course. And with this, Solar can finally stop the army of ByuN. ByuN has been gaining a lot of ground, but that will soon change with these Lurkers. But we're split pushing. Solar, he's not in position for this. A lot of creep going down. Here comes that Ling Bane. Oh, the mine! Oh, we're trying to force some friendly fire. The push is denied. At the same time, here comes that main army. The Lurkers are getting in position. This hatchery will be saved. Again, the Lurkers, they do put a stop to the Bio army. But they just rotate around, and Solar not quite in position. There we go, we get a scan. 2 Lurkers are going to go down. Lurkers are coming from behind. Oh, and Solar, he will clean this up. At the same time, the double jump also goes down to the Vipers and the Ling Bane. Solar, he cleans up the army here of ByuN, and you could see that ByuN, he threw away a lot of supply very quickly. He dropped 70 supply in the blink of an eye, and now Solar's going for a massive counterattack. Was ByuN too aggressive? Did he throw away too much? The boys, they're being pulled into Lurkers. GG gets called. ByuN loses everything, and Solar will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semifinals. GG. GG, well played. ByuN, hyper aggressive as he always is. To be fair, he's always like this. He's always very aggressive player. But alas, he wasn't able to break Solar. He came close, did come close, but wasn't able to pull him apart. And Solar was able to stabilize And snowball out of control. GG, well played. Solar will advance on into the next round where he's going to be waiting for his next opponent. He's waiting for the winner of Shin versus Nightmare. Oh, let's go. Let us go. We have some catching up to do. Oh, there we go. From the top, Pappy, from the top. It looks like we have all of our quarterfinals matches underway. We have Clem versus Max Pax in a Europe versus Europe match. We have Estrella versus Hero in a PvP. Oh my god, let's go. Definitely looking forward to that. To the PvP towards the upper half of the bracket. Scrolling down a little bit further, we have our series as well. Solar, of course, waiting for either Shin or Nightmare. And that is where we are going to be waiting as well. Solar is, of course, in the semis, and we've been following Solar for quite some time. I mean, we started with Cyan versus Bunny, into Solar, into ByuN, now into either Shin or Nightmare.